Hello everyone and welcome back to AustinTalks, where today we are covering a video that it's weird, but hey, that's it's a video at the end of the day. And today we have got we're talking about the evolution of musicals. Now, musicals are something I really enjoy. I love going to see musicals, and recently I just went to go and see one, and I was thinking of videos, so I guess here it is. So, it's not a long video, but at the end of the day, it is a video. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it with the origins of ancient theatre. So, during Greek and Roman periods, a lot of the entertainment was like music, dance, and like drama. Now, these elements are similar to what Shakespeare used, but this was like in the actually, I don't know how long ago, but these were the only sources of entertainment at the time. So, for this reason, I've actually put the Colosseum there, because it was something that it was used for entertainment and but more like wrestling or like fighting. So there's a sort of a difference. But I say this point in time was very important because the three main elements of theatre and musical drama were music, dance, and drama, all of which took place and were solidified during this time period. These sorts of traditions were continued through the medieval and Renaissance periods until one man changed it forever. William Shakespeare. Now, the birth of opera, as much as it's some sort of, it is still to do with musicals, but an opera theatre, that's what I mean. Now, this sort of took place when Shakespeare was starting to experiment with theatrical entertainment. At the same time, another form of musical theatre was introduced, known as opera. Now, during the 16th and 17th centuries, many composers made many forms of music that were unfamiliar to people, like Handel, Mozart, and Monteverdi. Now, all of which were considered icons when it came to the birth of opera because they made the music for it. Now, these were very different types of opera, such as light and comedic, but these were not the most popular when Shakespeare intervened, and he would plan these massive shows with a story and would just try and make it so much better, and bring life to the theatre. Now, this may be a weird one, but Broadway Theater. Opera and ancient theatre were the biggest and most popular versions of musical theatre. Before Broadway, theatre came around, but that isn't as special as you think because there were no alternatives. Broadway theatre to this day is the biggest thing that was introduced only last century. Broadway theatre now is what you experience. So, London, I imagine in America as well, and I imagine in a load of countries. I mean, we don't have Broadway theatre, but we have a theatre where I live, and that's where I went to go and see Lion King, and I went to go and see High School Rock. School of Rock. I've seen amazing shows, but you have to remember there may be different actors every time, but these were the same. It was the same stories and same theatrical dances and stuff. Now, as I say, it was only last century Broadway theatre was actually implemented, and that's how it was considered really important. And it is the most popular initial period, and with some of those popular shows that were included, like Oklahoma, which I haven't unfortunately seen, and The Sound of Music, which I haven't actually seen the film, never mind the show. Now, both of which I have not seen, as I've just said. Now, these musical influences are very big, have a very big development in character dialogue. So many of the theater stuff, many of the aspects that took place were mainly just songs, and they used dialogue via songs. But Oklahoma and The Sound of Music were the first shows to influence character dialogue, and through this they actually had intervals where they would speak, which is mostly what you would see today. But what was the Lion King is a weird one. In The Lion King, you do actually all of them are singing, but it's actually done in a very nice way. They all sing, they all have some sort of dialogue, but it is very good. And I don't know, and usually I don't like that, but in this they executed it perfectly. Now, while it isn't my thing, I do see the appeal. But in The Lion King, it just works perfectly. In some cases, if you're not really invested in the story, then you do need a bit of dialogue for clarity. But in this sense, it depends on the person. I mean, The Lion King is very familiar to me, but it may not be familiar to others. So that sort of just songs as dialogue may not appeal to them. Now, there was a golden age of musicals, but the Broadway part, as here, does also correlate with the golden age. So the evolution of the golden age of musicals really does solidify during the golden age. Other things that happened, there are other things that happened during the golden age that separate the importance of the Broadway Theater and the golden age, but they mainly took place time-wise in the same time. During the golden age, a new form of musical theater was introduced called conceptual musicals, which still to this day are, despite my research, I don't understand. If somebody can tell me what conceptual musical is, please do. I'm only guessing what it is, but I knew so the examples include Cabaret and Company, both of which I actually don't know about, which emphasize the importance of themes and ideological preferences of theatre rather than following traditional narratives, which I actually get, and considering when the golden age took place, that makes more sense than anything, mainly because it took place during both the wars. Now, this also introduced rock musicals. Rock musicals are what I really enjoy. School of Rock, Hair. I still haven't seen Jesus Christ Superstar, but I do like Hair and School of Rock. But it was during the time, so the key word there is ideological preferences between I would say World War I and the Cold War. Conceptual musicals were the big thing, and that's actually started introducing more types of stories, because apparently that really fascinated people. But as I said, if somebody knows what it means and can tell me, please do. Research may not be the greatest on this one. Now, mega musicals. These are what I know, mainly because of my age. But there was a period when musicals were the biggest thing in the entertainment business, and it was when productions like Phantom of the Opera and Cats came out. Now, that is very weird considering all the other films that came out that time. Those are very good films, but anyway. So these shows were both led by Andrew Lloyd Webber, who when he made these was considered a genius, and I actually can't blame him. I've seen both Cats, and I've not seen the Phantom of the Opera, but I've with the book, when it came to the Phantom of the Opera, I saw it in a show, and then I actually watched a show online, and it was amazing. So he started with Evita, which is a show I've seen, and I imagine it's one of the most popular he's done, which took the world by storm in 1976, and the following decade followed the Phantom of the Opera and Cats within the same year, or within the same decade. Now, Andrew made these productions because of the spectacle and scale of the shows that he was able to pull off. Now, he used elaborate sets and special effects that revolutionized the musical theater, and it was mainly this was the implement of tech into musicals, which I'll get into in a little bit. and it's still used today. And he helped develop like the Lion King, Back to the Future musical. Honestly, I don't think I've seen a better musical ever. Go and watch the Back to the Future musical. I watched that in London. Oh my god, it was phenomenal. Go and see it if you can. I haven't seen the Beetlejuice musical. I've only just recently watched Beetlejuice, so I may give that a go. But yeah, like you have the House of Mormon, you have Aladdin. Have I seen Aladdin? I'm not too sure. I haven't seen Wicked. I've seen something to do with MJ, but I don't know if it was the musical. But anyway, so obviously there is going to be a big influence. You know Marvel, you know Disney, and obviously big conglomerate influences are a big thing, and that's how money is made. So Disney has made tremendous successes at branding their business and expanding to musicals during the 1990s, and which they launched a couple soon-to-be Broadway hits such as Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King, which I do think was a smart call. I can't lie. This was good marketing for both musicals and Disney, because it brought in a whole new and younger audience for the musical side, which brought more families together by Disney. I mean, Disney they made Frozen, they made Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins was amazing. That was good. Now, I think both coincide very well. As a person who has seen Disney shows, I love Disney movies. Say what you want, but they're great. But they are spectacular, and they make you spectacular. I would argue Disney shows are better than Disney, films. That may be a hot take, but that's just me. But conglomerate influences seem scary and intimidating, but don't judge a book by its cover until you've actually opened it up. Because these, shows that have been taken over by Disney are very good. They still directed by an actual musical theatre folks such as Andrew Webber, but don't judge a book by its cover. It's very good. Now, musical adaptation. Now, when I say musical adaptation, as we know, many musicals are adapted and changed to fit modern day stories, obviously. So that they should make a whole new musical, essentially. So this means that they also make books and movies based on these popular musicals, and while it can work both ways, a musical to a film shows more depth compared to a film made into a musical, like The Avengers. Yeah, that was weird. Now, this can have some repercussions, as some may want to keep it simple, but directors like to doll it up with technology, which takes away from the magic. I do agree with that to a high degree. But most musicals are made into films, which do sort of justice, but are just sometimes are just horrible. I'm sorry, but when musicals are so great and then they're made into films, 9 times out of 10 they're very bad. Now, the best that I can think of right now is Les Miserables in Chicago, which were amazing both ways. That is an exception. Les Miserables and Chicago were both made into perfect musicals and films. Yeah, but I've seen a few others, and I'm not gonna say them in case I get ripped apart in the comment section. But yeah, there's a few, definitely. There's definitely a few. Now, revivals. Revivals are I'm gonna just get on with it. Many of the musicals were classics, and had revived and into revamped styles. Now, with a more updated interpretation, it does mean that they can, show more modern, values and stuff. So this happened very recently with a very popular musical known as Oklahoma. In 2019, it was revealed that Broadway would be showing Oklahoma, which was unusual because it was very rare to see an Oklahoma Broadway show, considering when it was last. There was a very big gap in years. So, but it was only a year later revealed. It was only a year later, so before they released the new Oklahoma, they revealed that this was done to have they did it so that it would have a more updated storyline to fit in with the times. This wasn't well received by musical theatre fans, but I can actually see both sides. Because you want it to be modern, so it intrigues a new audience, but you also want to keep it original for people that saw the original. This also continued to spread throughout other popular musicals, mostly smaller but still popular, such as Mean Girls and SpongeBob SquarePants the musical, which I didn't know was a thing, but then when I searched it up, it was a thing. Which honestly, I'm not even mad about, I just respect it. So, social and cultural context have a big part to play with this. Now, many musicals have challenged certain issues into the world, and while musicals are made for entertainment, this is also a good thing to reflect on as well. Because Broadway and West End shows have become so popular, they have decided to do the same thing, which when done right can have a very big influence on cultural change. This also explains why there haven't been many new musicals entirely, but rather altered styles and more shows that revolve around problems in today's world. This also introduces the question, simply, what is next for musicals? Very simple. I don't know. I don't know what's for musicals, but enjoy them while you can. But anyway, everyone, that is the end of today's video, and I do hope you all enjoyed it. It's a fascinating topic, and I love musicals, and I do recommend if you haven't seen one in your life, go and see one. It's it's such a good experience. But without further ado, everyone, I do hope you all have an amazing day. And yeah, I hope I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.